So for this problem, part A says, determine the number of solutions each equation would have without solving them. So in order to figure out the number of solutions each equation would have without solving them, we need to use the discriminant. And the rule is, so for one thing, what is the discriminant? If you think about the quadratic formula, the quadratic formula is x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And the discriminant is the part of this equation that's under the radical. So the discriminant is the b squared minus 4ac part of the quadratic formula. And when that discriminant is greater than 0, that means you have two solutions. And another possibility is that the discriminant is equal to 0. In that case, you only have one solution. And the third possibility, if it's not greater than 0 and it's not equal to 0, then it would have to be less than 0. So if b squared minus 4ac is less than 0, that means we have 0 real solutions. We would have imaginary solutions, but we wouldn't have any real solutions, because if you have a negative under a square root, then that makes the imaginary number I. I'm not sure if you've gotten there in your class yet, but yeah, so that's the rule, is that we need to find what the discriminants are, and once we find the discriminants, then we can just compare them to these rules and figure out how many solutions they have. So for the first problem, the a is the coefficient of the x squared, so a is negative 8.5. Negative 8.5. B is the coefficient of the x, which is the 13.5, and C is the negative 10. So if we plug that into our discriminant, B squared would be 13.5 squared minus 4 times A, which is negative 8.5, and then times C, which is negative 10. So plugging this into my calculator, 13.5 squared is 182.25. And then we can do 4 times 8.5 times 10, and that gives us 340. We have a negative, another negative, two negatives make a positive, but then we're multiplying by a third negative, so that makes minus. And since 182 is the smaller number, a smaller number minus a bigger number is a negative. So since we have a negative discriminant, that means that we are in this rule and we have 0 solutions, or 0 real solutions, I should say, for that one. And we can do the same thing here. For the next part is we find our A, our B, and our C, and then we plug it into our discriminant and find the number of solutions. Let's go ahead and do that for this one. So if we have A is equal to 3, B is equal to negative 13, and C is equal to 1, then plugging it in, we get B squared would be negative 13 squared. Now notice I'm including that negative inside the square, because when we square a negative, it makes a positive. And then minus 4 times A, which is 3, times C, which is 1. So 13 squared is 169, minus 4 times 3, which is 12, times 1, which is 12. So 169 minus 12 is a positive number. So since it's a positive, we will have 2 real solutions. And you would do the same thing for the last one. So I'm just going to skip that one and go straight to part B. It says to solve all equations from part A which have at least one solution. So we can skip the first one because it had 0 real solutions. And I think the easiest way to finish solving is to use the quadratic formula and plug in our numbers. We already found our discriminant, which was the 169 minus 12, which simplifies to 157. So we can do negative b. Negative b would be a positive 13. So positive 13 plus or minus the square root of 157 all over 2 times 3. So then just simplifying that a bit, we can do the 2 times 3 is 6 and split it up into two fractions. So that would be 13 over 6 plus or minus the square root of 157 over 6. And those would be our two solutions. I don't think we can pull anything out of 157. Let's see. Yeah, it's not divisible by 3. I think that would pretty much be the final answer. So there we go. I hope this question, the step-by-step solution, was helpful for you. If it was, please like the video and share with anybody who you think might find this information helpful. Also, if you'd like to see more of these types of videos, then subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell and turn all the notifications to all so that you will see anytime I make a new video. If you don't want to see when I make new videos, then feel free to subscribe and turn the notification bell to off so that you won't see when I make new videos, because I do make them pretty regularly as I try to get out a good number of solutions for people. Thanks for watching.